Dr. Surgeon, the people's doctor.
We here, y'all. We got another one. Episode 52. We are here. And we're gonna. This is the doc sent a few clips over earlier. This is Instagram stuff, and it's kind of hilarious, but something we can talk about. Play this real quick.
All right. This
But
one,
face it though. Face it. Let them see the picture. There we go.
You need to bring more women for your husband.
That's not. Oh.
No, the wrong way. No, let's start with that one. That's fine.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Gotta reload it, man. That's why we like a producer. All right.
You need to bring more women for your husband. Trust me, the moment.
Every time you do this, it messes up.
Well, leave it that way then.
Just turn it like that.
They gotta listen to it, but
You need to bring more women for your husband. Trust me, the moment you accept this, your life's gonna change. Men need more than one woman, and men crave more than one woman. See, the thing is, we don't want to say this to ourselves. We prefer to say, I'm enough, but it has nothing to do with you. At the
I'll slap the shit out of you.
So he's basically showing his girlfriend what we just watching, and she says, "I'm gonna slap the S out of you," and he says to her, "You're right." He a total beta with a hot chick. They're probably best friends, and they're just doing little TikTok videos and whatever have you. But what do you guys think about this woman publicly telling other women, you need to go get you a woman and bring her home. You choose the woman. You bring her home. Men need more than just one woman. What say you, Ulrich?
I mean, I agree that men crave more than one woman, but that it does kind of seem like a pain in the ass to just have to deal with. Like when I see guys who kind of can handle multiple women, they got multiple women texting them. If it's me with the woman, it's either that night or not again. Not like having these little, these women run around that you have secondary relations with or relationships with. It's like having a whole nother girlfriend. And it's annoying enough to have one
It's
girlfriend.
interesting how Ulrich brought that to a negative right from the beginning. Right, off top. It's a negative. Right off the top.
Yo, I think because guys glorify that idea, man. When when they don't know, it's literally like another job. It's like time. There's there's time you got to put into these women. It's just it's not as glorious as you think. Now listen, if you got the time, some guys got the energy for that to it bolsters them and gets them hyper and excited to just have different chicks text them constantly.
Okay. So are you talking about the guy who keeps a bench? Or
Yes. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
You're talking about a guy he got bench warmers.
Yeah,
Get
that's
ready.
exactly what I'm talking
You
about.
can't be that guy.
No.
Here's the question forget about that. I'll get back to that because I'm not going to forget.
All right.
Doc, what say you?
There's so many different ways that this whole thing kind of go, and you have to be of a certain mindset of what exactly we're talking about. We're not talking about, roll around the hay or a bench. We're talking about, you are a true woman and you're bringing another woman that you find of value that you could work with and team up with, and you bring that woman to your guy, or you interact with your guy to have somebody secondary in your lives like that. That's a whole different ballgame than keeping benches and so on and so forth. And at the end, you'll be responsible for more as the guy, but you'll also be enriched more as the guy. You lose all of that when you keep a bench. You're spreading your resources, your time, and your energy. Okay, you're spilling your tea that's not going to give you the appropriate type of return that you should get. So now, if you have two folks that are really on your program and what you're trying to accomplish in a certain manner, it's a whole different thing than if you had 10 folks that you're just having on your bench, because those bench warmers don't do nothing. And it's funny, there's a clip with this guy talking about what women need, and I think he talks about Maybe we'll play it. He talks about women needing love and God's kind needing respect.
Let's not get on
Yeah.
topic.
So
This
no,
woman
remember
says for your woman to go get
Right.
you another woman, for her to choose her, bring her home, because this is gonna make your life better. What say you?
So I agree.
I
And the
agree
thing-
too.
I agree, and the thing
Oh,
about it, you have to mesh.
You
You have to mesh.
disagree?
To make your life
If
better.
your girl came home with another woman and said, baby, she's for you, not for us. This is not a lesbian thing. This is not a sex thing.
That's a key thing.
This is a, look what I got for us, daddy.
I'd be suspicious of her intentions, man.
It's too good. It's too
I'd be
good in your
suspicious-
mind.
I'd be suspicious.
See, it's like it's so good in his mind.
It's not even that, it's
He has to
not even
reject
that.
it.
Empty.
He has
It's not
to-
even so.
he has to reject
No.
the concept.
No,
because-
I'm not pessimistic about that thing. I just don't want to. It's not that I'm pessimistic. It could be a good situation. It could be a happy situation. I just don't want to deal with. I don't want to deal with the stress of what that situation entails. I don't want to have to think of two different people to take the dinner. I don't want.
No.
Take it together.
No.
Take them together.
No.
Talk to me.
Sir, these women are cooking dinner, and one is making sure you got everything you need, your napkin, your drink. The other one is making sure that it's hot and tasty and flavorful. And they're going to they're going to serve your plate. You're going to cook, you're going to feed yourself, right? You're not a child. You're going to feed yourself. You're going to eat the sustenance. They're going to then clear the plate. One is going to come with a rag, and they're going to bring that rag to you. And they're going to hand you the remote control if that's what you like. Or the video game machine if that's what you like. Or they're going to just back up, and they're going to give you the space that you need.
Well, that last part sounded amazing.
Yes, that's what they're going to
So
do.
they- so
You
say-
know why?
say they-
Because this
yeah.
is what they've become. They're now best friends. They're not sexual partners. Yes, they will be having sex with you.
I don't like that. That's weird to me. They're best friends.
Girls need best
they're
friends.
best-
They need to do
no, no, no.
laundry with somebody.
They're
They
best
need to
friends
talk to
and
somebody.
subservient to me. That's weird. Something's gonna happen.
They're not
There's
subservient
there's too
to
many
you. They're
characters.
submissive to you.
There's
It's
too many
different.
characters.
Let me say this. Okay. Get out of here. Get out of here. This clip ain't for you. All right, let me tell you. This clip is not. Anyway. I think it's brilliant. I think that more women need to recognize the reality of there's a little bit of women out here. And here's the thing, if you got a woman, right, and you guys are like married, it's your wife, you're loving on her, you're communicating with her, you're not dealing with her and just, she's not dealing with you. You guys love each other and she respects you and she looks up to you. When you talk, she's listening. When she talks, you're listening. Now, she's brought someone in, and guess what? She now has a friend. She has someone she can talk to. She has someone that they can bounce ideas off of. They can get certain things done in a timely manner, and they bounce ideas off of each other. Because let me tell you, if you put your woman out there to have friends, those friends will do everything they can to destroy your relationship. So if she has the friend that she does have is there to help build the relationship, then you got yourself a winner. You got yourself something, you're cooking with grease right there. Does that make any sense? Doc.
Absolutely. Now the thing is, one thing you have to kind of be wary of, this idea, this woman that came on and gave this suggestion, this is a conversation within the community about, what she's suggesting. Because what she's suggesting is that she's going to bring somebody in.
Right.
But normally, what would happen in a normal stance is he would identify somebody that he think could really, benefit the team, logically. She would come in second, saying, okay, does this woman have good intentions? By using what she has, her emotions, her intuition, and you bringing her by using your logic, your vision, and your thought process that you actually have the right person in. She says whether or not, they have the right intentions. But when she comes in, it's almost as if she kind of vet the person have, other motives and all that type of stuff. But that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah, so it's almost like, so this kind of like a backhanded type of things to say, women, you do
Is
that.
that catch-22?
It's a catch-22. So you don't really want a person doing that. You're doing that, but the sentiment of her idea is correct. But if you're going to be willy-nilly and say, okay, well, yeah, you bringing somebody, it's a whole different ballgame.
So you would disagree with her. You saying the last thing you want for her to do is choose you a woman.
Right.
You want to say, hey, what do you think about her? I like this one here.
Yeah, what you think about that? And you vet her because we need you, because the thing is,
We need you to vet her.
to vet her through emotions and her intuition and her intent, you know.
I'm all
And
for
women,
it.
and women can feel that. They could feel like,
Yo,
oh, this
yeah,
is
right,
all
right.
for
Yeah.
it, you know?
I wouldn't want a woman who's comfortable enough to want to share me.
What?
I wanted to be, you know, to be, if I'm truly being honest, what I'm attracted to is that she's somewhat possessive of
But
me.
like this, so
You know what I mean?
if you,
That she'd be jealous that she would.
Beta!
That's beta.
But-
I'll give it what that means.
So if you
That means
if-
she's
if you have a girl, so
Principal.
can you love or have connection to two different people? Do you think you can, or you think you can't do that?
I mean, I have in the past, but that's gonna
Did you
fuck up.
care- did you
But
care
all
for
that's
one
gonna
more
do,
than the other?
excuse me, all that's gonna do is erode your connection one way or the other. It's gonna tug at the other connection.
Well, why?
Because I can't have a two steady strong connection at the same time.
How come? Why
One
not?
connection is gonna erode.
How come? Why do you think so?
Because when it comes to women, I don't have the energy for more than one.
Okay, and this is a different thing about a guy kind of knowing himself, because where's your vision at and stuff like that. If your attention and all those type of things, it's not that you can't. It's like you don't feel like it. You kind of already suggest that it's a lot of work. It's already an issue. For one, is bad enough. Those type of things.
If they don't want to have sex, I don't know if I can trust what's really going on here.
So it's a different mind.
Sorry for the changing of the voice like that. Forgive me. So that's not how I see it. But that's,
I didn't even know that's what that That was a solid I see what you're saying, how happy that ideal is, but I'd rather be in either single situation where I freely make love, or be in a relationship that I cheat than I be in a relationship.
But it's like
I'm just sorry, man. It's just,
so you'd rather be in a relationship.
it's just
where you
weird.
cheat.
No, I know this.
No, that's honest.
I'm trying to.
I'm trying to grab my drink.
Yeah. No, seriously, I'm trying to get out of that mindset. I'm trying to get the cheating, the cheating, maybe some weird ego thing. I'm not like
You had dogs?
being come along with.
you have dogs.
I have a dog.
You have a dog, but is that the only dog you ever had?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I really want to
Wait,
wait a
Yeah, what I'm trying to get to is, I don't want to say children initially.
Right.
When you have your children, you love your children. They all love you, and you love your children. Okay, and the idea is that you don't expect one of them to not love you because the other one. And the thing is, they may have little interaction amongst each other, for your attention, but they both still love you, and you still love both of them.
That's such a great answer.
And
I totally thought about that. Like, that's a freaking that's an amazing analogy, because when you see your children and the way they love you unconditionally, but in separate ways.
right.
Yeah,
It is
Separate ways.
but that for me, that unconditional, I wouldn't be able to be comfortable with that unconditional love if that unconditional love would allow me to be shared with somebody. I don't know. It
You mean
sounds
willingly
weird.
be shared with somebody?
Yeah.
Because you can just be,
But
you
the
can just
thing
go
about it
cheat.
is, so it's a mindset.
Yeah, but that has to
Because
do with
think about
but it doesn't have to do with my actions. It has to do with what the woman's are.
They might not-
And it's not that I'm judging women who do this. I'm just saying for me in general. Like I don't.
It's a what you going? It's something that they deal with, not because they absolutely love it, because that point of it is there are going to be those little areas where they may have that feeling of, oh, does he think more about her this way than me, and so on and so forth. But they understand that is a very superficial and fleeting thing. That's the ups and downs, the emotions.
It might be a healthy jealousy.
Yeah, yes.
Might
Because
be a
that's
healthy
that's going to
jealousy.
cause her to step
No, but
again
no,
or
no,
like that.
no.
Jealousy, that you're talking about envy. Envy
envy and jealousy.
yeah,
Yeah,
jealousy,
but-
definitely. Jealousy is owning something that's yours, that belongs to you.
Right.
Like jealousy is healthy. Like God is a jealous God. Envy is just you mad that why does this person have that and I don't have that.
Right.
No, but
So
the thing about
envious,
it,
yes.
but the thing about it is, in the bigger scheme of the picture, is a partner that she recognizes she has and she wants, that because she makes your overall lives easier. She makes her life easier. You know, so moving forward, the whole unit moves easier, and that's kind of like the idea. That's the spirit that's going, and so.
She can't do that by herself.
Well, the thing is,
Do you
this
want
is-
her to do that by herself?
See,
if
Do
she
you
can
want
manage-
her to make friends
So,
with women who are
this
not
is-
aligned with your plan?
This is Western society's thought.
Wait, say that question again.
Do you want your woman to choose her friends? Do you really want your woman to choose her friends?
First of all, I could care how she is with her friends. It determines how she acts when she's with me.
Ah.
So, I
So,
have friends.
that's
I'm not
a
even
chameleon
in that-
woman.
Yeah.
I'm not
That's a
even in that
chameleon
process.
woman.
Come on, that's a woman. When
That's
that's
the problem.
Listen, not
That's
a
the
chameleon woman.
problem.
That's inherent in it. That's inherent in kind of the nature to the extent because it has to do
You
with
make
them
me
being
feel so
agreeable.
glad I'm married. I picked the
It
right
has
one.
to do with
son.
them being how agreeable they are.
She's
So,
not
and
like
they show that they do kind of commit. The nice way to put it is they're open to other people's differences so much so that it's like they agree and placate them, and they don't tell their friends when they're wrong. They may almost seem like they're agreeing with them. So that's why.
Well, that's
There
not
lies
her
the problem.
That's
There
a
lies the
huge
issue.
problem. That's
But
a
But-
to me, that's answer. But that is that's.
Doc tells me when I'm out of pocket, I've told
Yeah,
him
but
when he's out
that's
of
a man
pocket.
thing. That's a man.
I know.
That's a
I
man.
get that. But let me tell you, a woman is not gonna. Sorry, I keep cutting you off. Go ahead, talk, because I'm not
No,
gonna
no,
forget
no,
this.
go ahead. Say what you're saying.
A woman does not need to choose her friends. Ever. Because her friends are going to be very interested in having you as a sexual partner. That's a fact.
I mean, it's possible. Sure.
That's a fact. Your girlfriend, her friends, if they're single girls, they're doing everything in their power to make her single. They're gonna tell her things about how this man ain't the right man for you. This guy, it's insane, the brainwashing that has been taking place with these women out here. And let me tell you, you do not want your woman going, if I let my woman choose her friends, it would be insane. It'd be nothing but hood boogers. And they would probably be going down on me, behind her back. They'll be trying to, because she has a magnet. My woman, unfortunately, has this magnet where every person she meets and thinks is cool and want to exchange numbers with are super damaged people. And I have to tell her, baby, this might not be the one to be friends with. Okay? Did you hear what you just said? What she told you? That's called a red flag. You don't need to be friends with that girl. That girl is single, and her idea of the world, her world's view, it doesn't align with what you're doing.
Do you know there was a time where it wasn't expected for people within your family, your unit, and stuff like that to even communicate with outsiders at all?
Sure.
Because the simple interaction is the introduction of things that's foreign to you. You know? And the thing about it is,
That still happens today.
exactly, but the latest version of that is the teenager. So we never
We
had.
talked about this,
We never
yeah.
had the teenager before. And then now we have this teenager who goes
So
out
we used to
there.
have children and adults.
No, the idea of this teenager, and the idea with the teenager is this person that's going to come into the house and rebel against what your set rules are or the way that you see the world and vision.
Normalizing that
And
shit.
the thing is, where they get that from? They get that from being out there and having these interactions. So the person that embodies the idea of conforming to something is the feminine spirit. And the idea is that, and that's the purpose or the desire of it being, being a virgin. And the idea with it being a virgin, we're talking about sexual unions, but the real thing is that just exposure to the outside world, to another guy, to all these things, because all that interaction floods her with a certain way of being, which is likely going to be different from how you are. And if there was anything that she gravitated towards during that interaction, she's going to hold on to it as something that she desires and think that should be there.
Oh, yeah.
And then now, if you don't possess that, then it's like something is wrong with you. And this is where, little tips and stuff like that happen because she expects certain things to be like that. So the more the person is out there, the more experience that they have. And the thing about it is what she gets with friends is all their experiences and all that type of stuff. And they're all flooding it down, and then that comes into your house. So I do care who her friends are.
Word.
And the thing about it is, and to the extent possible, as we first meet, fine, you do whatever you want to do. But the more you show that you want to be in my life, then I want to see what you bring into my life and things that, I think is, appropriate or not appropriate. But that's part of the choice. Because you're going to leave your life. I'm going somewhere. This ship is going to fly and it's going to go to its destination.
Right.
If you're going to come, there's certain things you can't come with. Now, you're on the ship because you want to go. So I'm not forcing you to follow anything like that.
Exactly.
Because you really want to.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, but I know what you're saying, but that doesn't mean I would put myself in any, if some friend was so unbearable that it was unable for me to be in a relationship with the girl, then that we wouldn't have been in a relationship.
But you might not know though. You might not know the core why she came to the house like
but
that.
where it applies. So if it's in a situation, where a friend, all right, I had a problem with one of my ex's friends, from who I felt was influencing her. That problem directly had some stuff with it. That friend had said they'd seen me with somebody and stuff like that. So whatever.
She had a friend that said that she saw
Yes.
you with another woman.
Yes.
It wasn't a lie.
Let's go past that.
Oh.
Let's go. But anyway,
Retaliation.
but anyway, but the point
So
I'm
she
making.
did the right thing telling her friend that she saw you with
Yeah,
somebody.
but a point I'm making, that's a situation where that friend got in a situation where that friend did something to challenge me directly. If a friend is just, if somebody can have a dumb friend who you just don't like or disagree with, I'm not gonna dictate if she's friends with a friend who I just think is dopey and silly. We know people that are, necessarily dopey and silly, but you don't let their you have to know who you're dealing with, so their dopey and silliness doesn't overtake you. Doesn't mean if I'm next to dopey and silly, I'm gonna fall into a pool, because I'm strong enough to not fall into it just because I'm around that. And it'd be better if I had a woman who's so sweet that she could be kind to a dopey and silly chick that kind of shows some of that
There's
character.
nothing wrong with being kind to a dopey and silly chick. There's something wrong with being kind to a woman who's maybe only dealt with toxic men, who slept around with her sister's man, who's slept with her high school and professor, who's moving in a place where maybe they're doing a lot of drugs. I don't need my chick thinking this chick is cool to hang with, because I don't need my chick being around somebody who's high. I don't need my chick being around somebody whose opinions of the world and what relationships are don't align with us, because you met her at the local library and now all of a sudden you guys hit it off, and before I know it, now you hanging with you and your new friend are playing spades, and now you playing spades in a place where maybe it might not be safe, because this person is just don't even think about how important you are to others, because they're not as important to anyone in their life. And my wife is so important to me, I don't need her being around no one who's gonna jeopardize her freedom, her safety, and don't have her best interest. And let me just tell you this, every week, my wife, I used to come into the house and her friends would be right there drinking all my liquor, stuff that I had given to me by bar owners and club owners. I had stuff that was signed by certain people. Amazing liquor bar that I had, and they were just slowly drinking my shit. It took them a long time because I didn't notice it right away, but these women ended up, honestly, one of them, she had to cut ties with one of her friends, and I was like, yo, what happened to this friend of yours that's been around for years and years? So in other words, when I say I don't let my wife choose her friends, trust me, she's a grown woman. She can choose whatever friends she wants. And she suffered from having the same 4 friends for her since high school to college. to an adult. Now she has a baby and she's married, and all of them are still single. All of them are getting high, getting pissy drunk. Now one of them is, if you drive by a certain block, and this one is a teacher. She drives by a certain block, she gonna be sitting right there on the stoop with her wine. So that ain't the friend that you need. That's not. And what I'm saying when I say she's a teacher, in other words, she's like a taxpayer. She's a productive member of society, but she's not a productive member of her own life. So she don't need to be around us and my kids. Cause my kids were writing in the sand. They were writing in the sand. I said, what you writing in the sand? And they were like, sorry about that. And I'm reading what they wrote in the sand, and they writing how they can't stand this chick. I'm like, you don't like her? She's your aunt. They're like, she's not her real aunt. That's mom's friend. And no, we don't like her. You should hear the stuff that she said. She's very inappropriate.
Yeah, if that's
she's always cursing and things like that. So I'm like, I'm telling my wife, look, the kids are even saying it, but let me just say this. My wife had to eventually see that this chick wasn't doing anything. And then the chick got back with a guy from like high school. And my wife was like, so you're gonna be with the same person, a married man who ain't going anywhere, is not gonna marry you, and I'm your friend? So she just backed away and just was like, I'll give you a call next time I see you. It's kind of hard to explain, but you kind of get what I'm saying, because I don't want to just be mean to somebody by saying the stories that possibly could get back to them or whatever. But my point is that your nervousness of this woman bringing someone home, or your trepidatiousness of this woman coming home with a woman saying, Daddy, I'm bringing you, this woman is for us to build and have a better life, is probably because you're not choosing the woman properly. The woman, the main girl who's bringing that woman in, she's the one that you got some doubts with. She's the one that ain't really on her game and showing you the most respect and the most love and looking at you like you are everything that's gonna help her move forward in work. You're gonna bring her children. You're gonna bring her happiness. She's maybe doubtful and doesn't believe it.
I think there's a higher probability of me never being satisfied with her if she's bringing other women in than actually the opposite. In other words, I mean that might compel me more. Make sure you look at it as not sex. That might compel in a weird way. That might compel me more to cheat than she bring women. You know what? I don't want the women today. I just want to go out and why you always bring me women?
He's very rebellious. Ulrich, I learned that about you. You're very rebellious.
I don't know. No, you call me a contrarian. I'm just saying that.
He's very rebellious. He's very rebellious. You remember what he said last week? He says out of spite he might just start dating that person serious and not.
No, I never said
that. He's making reservations. Come on. That was a jest. Nah. So I am big up. Let's do the other one. The other video that came up on the text with there was like 5 of them. Let's do one more. We don't have to hang up, and we got a nice little crowd here. Is everyone pressing the thumbs up button? Hey, if you got any value from this, and you can see we don't agree, Ulrich, I'm ready to push him off the screen because I'm like, how can you not want this? This is a dream come true to hear a woman say this. And Ulrich is totally 10 toes down against it. That's what you're getting at the Premium Black News Channel. We're not here laughing and giggling for you. We're over here giving you objective perspective with our life experiences. And if you've gotten any value out of this, hit the Cash App, $ ElvisRosenberg. Hit the Venmo. And that's that's a good one. Hit the Venmo, that's Elvis-Rosenberg. Express yourself here.
Do that real quick.
Do you know what is the number one thing that women want from their husbands? It's love. More than anything else, they must be assured that you love them. And you must say that to them again and again, maybe 100 times in a year. And do you know what is the most, sisters, married sisters, do you know, from a wife, it's not sex, believe me, it is respect. If you respect your husband, and your husbands love your wife, you'll have a wonderful married life. The Bible says that in Ephesians 5, you read it. How many of you wives can honestly say that you respect your husband? How many of you husbands can say that you're trying to love your wife? The wife needs love, the husband needs respect. That means you must speak to him respectfully. He may be wrong, tell him he's wrong, respectfully. Very, very important. That's how you build relationships.
Absolutely.
Oh,
That's so
absolutely. Yeah,
good.
completely.
That's so
Sorry,
good.
yeah.
I mean, that's so good.
But do you agree, specifically with the fact that that's more important than sex?
Oh, yeah. I can. First of all, I'm not even that. When I'm in a relationship with you, I'm not even that horny anymore. Once we're dating, the whole horniness is gone. It's when I'm single is when I'm really excited. But the respect thing more than, and I 1000% agree with this, because nothing like sometimes I can't almost get past a point of getting like upset or indifferent or cold until like I get an apology, and that shows. And that I guess that's as much as how now, because sometimes a woman wants to hear something really sweet, and she says that's all I want to hear. Some like I'm happy to hear I care about you, and I guess whatever love release they get from that, that's what I get from acknowledgement of, I guess, wrongdoing, or you know what I mean, like because to me that's a show of like respect and understanding. So they don't have to be perfect all the time, but when they wrong, they better be right, get right in very fast.
So that's kind of well said. That's really interesting. What was kind of like mentioned there, and that's what we've kind of like lost a lot. And society have allowed folks to like chip away at that, slowly in such a way that you don't even recognize what's going on. But it is that level of. There was a point in time where, young women would really looked up to you. And the easiest way for me to explain it, and if I had daughters, I'd probably explain it that way. And that's what I tell kind of like my boys, you don't want to interact with, with the girl that you're both are stock shelf people. That's not the person that you want to be interacting with, because that person can never look up to you if she's also stocking shelves. If you're going to be in a situation like that, you want to deal with the person who's trying to get a job in the store. If you're going to deal with the stock person, you want to be
I
at the
don't know
level
about
of a
this analogy,
supervisor.
Doc. I'm
No,
lost
sorry.
a little bit. Tell me again.
So the idea is that, you want to serve as a source of resource, that you come in with more experience, more
The
knowledge.
man.
Yes, more, and all those type of things. And I would say to my daughter, you don't want to be the person that's exactly where you're at. You want to be able somebody you can actually look up to. If you can't look up to him, if you can't see that as a person that you want to follow and trust and believe in and stuff like that, that's not the person for you.
You'll eventually start to hate him.
Or you're gonna think that you're better than him, and maybe you should. But the idea is that you didn't put yourself in the best situation unless it's somebody you could look up to. And the thing about it, you don't put yourself in the best position to be respected if you're trying to get somebody who whatever your perception is, that is doing better than you or is where you kind of like at. So the thing about it, and these things, it's almost like it's very straight across. And the thing about it is, who is this the store clerk going to look up to? Her male store clerk buddy who has to punch in and have to do the things?
Right.
So in your emotional interactions or relationships, you want to have that type of difference. This is the reason why that age difference is necessary. If I know all the things then that I know now,
You have to tell people what you mean when you say age difference is necessary.
Age difference is necessary. I'm gonna get into that.
Okay.
If
Take your
I
time.
know,
Let's take our time.
if I know, then what I know now, things would have been different as far as just the age range in which you kind of like date. Like right now, if you're 35, I probably would date somebody anywhere between 7 to 15 years younger. And that's kind of like the interaction. That's kind of like the sweet zone.
So wait, you wouldn't date a doctor?
No.
Would you ever consider that?
No.
How about a nurse?
You know, so I did that. And what I'm saying is that, would I do that now? No. Because the thing about it is, you know, a lot of times, you know, society have pushed this narrative. And the thing about it is, the relationships that need to develop, you know, and where it's really, really strong, you know, it doesn't foster those type of things. You know, the person who has, you know, a strong career, they've committed themselves, poured themselves into that career. That's the most important thing to them, because they've identified with self-sufficiency, and that I might just end up just be on myself and so on and so forth. So the commitment to interact with you comes behind that. Now, a lot of folks settle for that.
This video is about what a man needs is respect, and a career woman, what you're saying is, a career woman respects her job, not her man.
Exactly. And the thing about it is, we have to think about what we're talking about. The man have been substituted.
Premium Black News, y'all. Premium Black News.
It's been substituted by, you know, by the career. You know, she gets up every morning. You know,
Not for her man, but for her career.
For her career.
Not for her children, but for her career.
And she put on, and she get dressed, she get all nice and stuff like that. She puts on the heels if she's working in corporate. And guess what? She does all that throughout the day. And when she come home, she can all that stuff off and give you that leftover.
That's a solid point.
So which one is the priority? So you have to say, are you going to put yourself in a position where you're actually the priority or not? They've been convincing men all over that, you know what, for a very long time, we're looking at those old sitcoms, even back then, they were starting to interject that into society, and now it's full spread, you know?
Tell them that reference you made. It was the Family Ties
it was
with
Family Ties.
Michael J. Fox.
It's Family Ties, what was it? It was the wife there, you know, and Michael J. Fox, she was like a teenager at that point. And so you had the husband, you had the wife, you know, Michael J. Fox as, you know, the teenager boy who's kind of like rambunctious, smart in school and stuff like that. And then I believe he had at least one sister or two sisters, was attempting to go back to work. And she used to be an architect, I believe. And she has been out of the field for a while. But you have to think about the setting of this sitcom in the early 80s and the idea of trying to make moms both career and housewives. So she had stopped working because she wanted to take care of her and raise her family. So now the kids are like, you know, in high school, she's thinking about, well, she needs to go back into the workforce so she can find herself. And the husband was very supportive and so on and so forth. And there was part of the episode where she came in snapping at him and stuff like that. He's like, well, all I've been trying to do is being supportive and helpful. And so it's almost like the roles turned where she was kind of this bitter, upset because it was too much weight on her at work and, you know, and stressing her out. So she was lashing out at the husband and he was kind of like playing this role. But the thing is, these are what they slowly introduce for you to kind of like accept and actually champion as a good thing.
Right.
But the truth of the matter is, the balance is off. The most important work that needs to happen, there's the Valentine's Day story, info. The most important work that needs to happen is the raising of society. And the only people that's best equipped to create it and raise it is our women. But they've been convinced, trying to do the work that we do out in corporate, doing nonsense and BS. We're just exchanging tea for a piece of thing that's worth nothing. But they've convinced our women to go chase that also and give up the most important thing or most important job that they have, which is raise society. And the lack of that and the failure of that give us the situation that we are currently now.
The lack of respect for the man.
Lack of respect for the man and the really fall of society. It's falling. All that stuff is just falling. It's the result that, you know, we're not having the proper guidance towards humanity because everybody thought that they could be a career woman and a housewife. And they still think it, but they're failing. It's failing. It's not working. It's a failed experiment.
This was a good pod, y'all. You got some last words, Ulrich?
No, I actually agree with you. And
That was good. Well said. I don't even want to come back. I got nothing after that. That was so good. Only thing I can tell you is that if you have gotten that. Hold me back, bro. Hold me back, Ulrich. Yo, if you've gotten some value out of this, hit the cash out. Hold me back, Ulrich. Hold me back, Ulrich. Hold me back. If you got some value out of this, hit the cash out. Hit the Venmo. Stop playing games. Come on. Premium Black News over here. You should hear the story about this shirt.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. You don't know nothing about what's going on here yet. We've just given you a taste. Premium Black News. Hold me back, Ulrich. Come on. Hold me back. Hold me back, Ulrich. Hold me back, yo. You are appreciated. Big Elvis to Chef Rosenberg.
That surgeon and more.
And I love you. Boom.